Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today I have with me my new Riccar R25 Series Deluxe. This is part of Riccar's 3-machine lineup when it comes to their entry-level clean air upright vacuums. This replaced the Riccar Symmetry series, or Riccar Vibrance series, I apologize. And in a way, it did replace the Simplicity Symmetry series because they no longer have twin machines from Taconi, being one Riccar branded and one Simplicity branded, but really the same machine, but a different color and a different name. This is the middle of the road Deluxe. It has a 19 pound weight to it. So it is slightly on the heavier side. Most vacuums are around 15 pounds these days, but it does have some more substantial components on it, like a metal brush roll with replaceable brush strips. It does have an 11-foot stretch hose, or at least 11-foot cleaning reach. It didn't specify if that was with the wand fully extended, which I'm going to assume it is. It has a 35-foot power cord on it, a top-filled bag design, which I'll show in a second. It has rubber molded wheels, or rubber coated wheels, I should say. I'm not sure exactly if they're rubber through and through, like their canisters, like the Riccar Prima canisters, but they are rubberized wheels in some sort of way. So it does glide across the carpet pretty nicely. It does have 360-degree swivel casters here on the front of the machine underneath. LED headlight, which is one of the boosts from the standard to the Deluxe. You're getting a metal brush roll just for going up to the Deluxe, the headlight, fingertip controls, and I think there might be one other thing that I'm missing. You might be able to, I don't know if you can control the brush roll speed on the standard model, but this retails on Riccar's website for, I believe, $5.99. Either $5.99 or $6.99. And overall, I've been pretty pleased with it. So I want to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons, or some of the things that I like about it, some of the things I don't like about it. And then we'll do a natural dirt vacuuming because I haven't been home in a few days. So there are some things on the floor, like over here, there's some crumbs, some more crumbs, some fuzzies, and just some more crumbs. So it just tends to be that way. All right, so starting from the bottom, some of the things that I do like the metal brush roll on this vacuum. It doesn't perform quite like a typical metal brush roll. I'm gonna only recline this back so far because the foot pedal switch here tends to take all the weight of the vacuum if you lay it totally backwards with the cleaner head up like this. So you can see I have used it already in some spots. This isn't dried on like as though it was wetted at some point, but it's just some of the things that I've run over already with this vacuum that's kind of got a powdery substance. There are some slight issues, I guess you could say, with some cat hair grabbing. But otherwise, I mean, it's really more just fuzzies. There isn't a lot of wrap per se. It's just small pieces that honestly would probably just fall off as you vacuum. So it's not a huge deal. It's not like some vacuums that I've used that have had like some serious hair wrapping issues. Here are those swivel casters I was talking about. And I'm kind of shocked to see the underside of this vacuum because I didn't expect it to be this like dirty in appearance. Especially these wheels, they seem to just kind of attract just general dust and dirt. But they are rubberized. These are those 360 wheels I was talking about. And then there are rubberized wheels here on the back. Your LED headlight. These right in here, these yellow ones, the Cobb chip on board, they are your actual illuminating headlights for everyday cleaning. And then there's 4 on the outside here and 4 on the outside here that actually illuminate red if you run something over. Because this model does have a lifetime belt. I believe all of the R25 series have a lifetime belt. I think they could have chose a different color to label these stickers because they are not very legible. On camera, it's better, but in real life or here in person, it's not. It says best for side edge cleaning is over here because the belt is over on this side. The cleaner head itself is very solid. It does not sound hollow at all. There is a pull tab here to access your post motor filter. This isn't a HEPA. Actually, this is actually your pre-motor filter. I apologize. So this is your pre-motor filter. It slides out. It does have a seal here. It kind of feels more like weather stripping than like a nice rubber gasket, but it does kind of lock into place. I've had some machines in the past that tend to not lock into place, and as the vacuum's running, they kind of pop out just from the airflow and finding like an easier way out of the machine. There is a HEPA filter here on the side. It's replaceable. If you go onto Riccar's website and you click on this machine, it shows you all the accessories and replacement parts that are available for you to purchase yourself. Anything beyond that, you'd have to go through your dealer for. On the side, you also have a indicator switch for your bag being full. It's a little loose / jiggly. You also have your extension wand that is housed right into the hose. All of your dirt and everything is always going to go through the extension wand, whether you're using tools or not. There's no suction diverter on this machine like some of the Taconi machines in the past. I think that they thickened up they beefed up this handle here a bit more than some of their symmetries and vibrances in the past, and I do like it. It does feel nice. That's one thing I've noticed. There are some things that I think they did well with this machine and some things that they didn't. So I'll click that on. Your bag door is here on the back behind the cord release, this is your cord release. We'll take this off here. Here's your bag door switch. You just press it. Your door or your bag will come up and out. There's really not much to see there. Top fill cloth HEPA bags. Locks down like so. There are some things on this machine, like I said, that feel really well made. Like this does not sound hollow here, but this little chintzy release pedal on the back of the vacuum just feels like it could have been made a little bit better. Here is your lower cord hook. Also, again, just feels like they could have come up with a better design. I don't know why they decided to change that. The hose is nice. It's slinky. It's easy to take off if there's a clog, just with those 2 clips here, one on this side, one on that side. There's one screw to put the handle onto the back of the vacuum. And there's a very good chance if you buy this from a vacuum store that they are going to put it together for you. It does say made in China. And it does not say made in the USA on it any longer. As far as I know, they don't even advertise it as being made in the USA. It is a single stage motor. It does have pretty good suction, pretty good airflow. Agitation, you can hear it. It grooms the carpet nicely. It could be a little bit more aggressive, but it's tolerable. Like, it does a pretty decent job. Fingertip controls are pretty nice as well. You have just a standard on-off switch. And when you turn the vacuum on, it automatically defaults the brush roll speed to high. If you click it again, it goes to low, and then again to off. I do not use the low speed. I think it's a little too high for bare floors, but it's a little too low for even a delicate rug. I honestly don't know why they put it on the vacuum. To me, it's a useless feature. Some people may disagree, but honestly, I think only specific people would ever actually find it useful, and most collectors or enthusiasts would probably say it's honestly not even necessary to have. Crevice tool on the side of the machine. It has a good length to it. It's basically the width of the front of the vacuum, which is great for being able to actually use a crevice tool and not some little dollhouse, rinky-dink sized crevice tool. But on the front here, the dusting brush they give you is just as I described, a rinky-dink dollhouse size combo upholstery slash dusting brush. These are not real horsehair bristles. They're just imitation. And I don't like having to clean upholstery side to side, because really it should be, this is inverted rather than horizontal. So I've never been a fan of brushes like that, but also it just doesn't feel like a nice premium attachment for a premium price tag. I will say though, I do like the location of it and how they mounted it to the front of the vacuum. You do not have to mount that on the front of the vacuum. It just comes that way on the handle, but I believe you could probably take it off if you don't like it. I think it just makes it look more complete and like a whole home vacuum. And that is where this thing really shines, in my opinion, is it really does work well as a whole home vacuum. When I used this for the first time and started vacuuming with it, I found myself cleaning a little bit more. I wanted to really go and look in the nooks and crannies. Everything about it, and I'll get to that after I'm vacuuming, but just to kind of give you guys an idea, I was really pleased with just using it. So I'm going to set this down, plug the vacuum in, and I'm going to get some rolled oats to just put on the floor and put on the rug so we can see the agitation and we can see the bare floor performance. Obviously, it's nothing scientific. So yes, there is some natural dirt on the floor here, but I want to see, like, you know, an actual, like, what we can get out of agitation. So I have it plugged in. I hope I told you that the cord is 35 feet long. I don't know if that is an upgrade over the standard with its cord length, but we are going to give this a run. So in the upright position, when you turn the machine on, the brush roll stays off. It's a pleasant, you know, it's not too loud at all. If it was a dual stage motor, of course it would be even more pleasant, but it's very tolerable sound-wise. And when I turn the brush roll on, I want you guys to note that odd sound that it makes. It doesn't sound like it's supposed to make the noise, but it's just this machine. It's not broken. It's not, I just think that there's a weird brush roll sound, and it's really amplified through the camera. I don't really have any plans on taking this to the shop anytime soon because it works just fine. It just sounds like it has a slight rattle to it. So, ignore these pieces here. This actually flicked out into the cleaning path just because the wheel ran over it. But it did a really good job. It stood up the carpet. There are a couple little pieces here that it missed. I was mostly going for agitation, so it's not a true, like, one-pass result. But the carpet does look significantly fluffed up there compared to some of the other areas that are not. But you could hear that odd sound that it was making. It doesn't affect its performance any, but it's something that I could probably go and get looked at some point. But otherwise, I mean, these are made in China now. They're not really US based machines, so. You can really see it dance over on the edge. And look at all that. All the salt. Okay, so we're gonna stop the carpet cleaning here for a second. It's very odd because the agitation, it's noticeable, obviously like every vacuum, right at the edge of the carpet, but it's not noticeable right in the middle of the rug, which is really where vacuums struggle to make that visible agitation happen, unless they're just out of this world, like insane agitation, like my Tandem Air Maytag. But it does a good job for what it is. For it having its own brush roll motor in it compared to what Taconi used to always do, which was drive it off the main motor, it does a pretty bang up job. I can't complain about it at all. However, I will say that I have been reaching for this vacuum more than any vacuum that I have since I've owned it. It's just easy to use. It has everything that I need. The suction and airflow is just fine. The bare floor cleaning performance is just fine. The carpet cleaning is just fine. And when I need to use the tools, everything, I mean, I like the stretch hose. It doesn't topple over. It doesn't try and pull itself away from me when I'm using it or pull itself towards me. So it's been pretty great just for what it's supposed to do. It does a really bang up job. Now, when you put this thing into the bare floor mode, you do have to hit this brush roll button twice. When you put the brush roll into low speed, it flashes. So that's low speed. And like most vacuums, they don't really struggle to do bare floor all that much. There is a little bit left on the floor here though. So let's see. A lot of it was left, or it wasn't actually pulled into the vacuum. So maybe that's the reason why we've got some issues. I'll leave it on the low brush roll speed and see if it flicks anything backwards. It didn't. Now let's see if it left anything. It didn't. So I'm kind of shocked. I haven't had any major issues with the brush or the bare floor cleaning, feeling like there's still stuff stuck on the floor, like when I use my Lynn House. But I think it's because of the particle size, potentially, just with how they're shaped. They're flat, but kind of large. They're definitely thinner than they are around. So that could be it. It definitely picked up most of it on the first pass, but we'd have to see, like with some smaller objects, how it does with leaving things stuck under the vacuum. Now, my overall impression, I'm really pleased with it. I can't be upset with this vacuum. I kind of bought it on a whim. It wasn't something that I was particularly looking for. It was just for sale, and I was interested in it because I've been on the hunt for a ultra premium Simplicity Symmetry or Riccar Vibrance. So this was obviously what took its place. Not necessarily the premium model, but everything that I was willing to pay for was available on this model. Now, like I said, I've been grabbing and reaching for this thing pretty much every time I have to vacuum. The cord's plenty long enough. The carpet cleaning performance is pretty good. I like to use it on bare floors. It's pleasant to use. It's very easy to draw the hose and vacuum. It's obviously not a deep cleaner like some of the other vacuums I have, but this is something that I would easily recommend to someone looking for a household vacuum, like their only vacuum. This, I would definitely recommend it. There's just those few things that I said about it that I'm not a huge fan of. Like the dusting brush and upholstery tool, some of the designs are a little funky. I think that the quality and the materials are there where it matters. For it being an automatic adjustment, I think it does pretty good at doing that. But one of the things that I had seen in some of the videos when I watched them online before I had even considered buying one of these was the brush roll is not very audible on most rugs. You can hear it on this one, but it's very quiet. It's a very soft sound. It's not noisy, or except for that slight weird noise that it's been making, but the brush roll is not like my Maytag, where it's just like constantly like vibrating the floor. But they've been using it on those whatchamacallits, the rubber backed rugs, so it's very noticeable. But in the videos, primarily what you're hearing is the suction motor over the brush roll. I'm not a huge fan of that, but again, I'm not mad at this vacuum at all. I think it does a really good job. You can see it fluffs up the carpet enough that you can see my footprint. So, again, I mean, it's a great